You know that feeling when you feel like you've forgotten something but you don't know what it is? That's basically me at the moment, all the time. I have become so overwhelmed by the to-do list and the must remember this list in my head that things are starting to slip and to suffer. So I've made a plan, and here is how I am going to tackle this situation and get rid of this feeling of being overwhelmed. So, as I do in every life crisis, I watched some YouTube videos, and I came across one by a lady called Mel Robbins, which I will link to below because it was absolutely brilliant. And in it, she talks about tackling the feeling of overwhelm by doing something called a brain dump. Which sounds really hideous. I gave it a try, and it was amazing. And instantly, I just felt so much better. The concept is to literally write down every single thing that you are carrying in your head. Dates you need to remember, tasks that you need to do, messages you need to send or to reply to, appointments you need to make, everything that you have in your head, get it down on paper. Now, at this point, you might say, Pip, that's called a to-do list, not that revolutionary. But this is, I think, a little bit different because in my head, a to-do list would be, I write down all the tasks that I need to do and I look at it and it's daunting and it freaks me out that I've got all this stuff that I haven't done. With this list, it's different because you're putting down the tasks that you need to do, but you're also putting down just the clutter that's in your head. So stuff like, my son is going on a school trip. Now I've sent in the money and the permission slip, that's done. So technically it's ticked off my list. However, when is the trip? I can't quite remember what that date is. I really need to look that up. And does he need uniform or is it non-uniform? Does he need a packed lunch? I can't remember. Or are they back for school dinner? I need to check all of that. That's something I need to remember to do. Clutter in my head. Get it down on the paper. Now, as well as making my head just feel clearer, I think the other really positive thing about making this list was seeing how much stuff I was actually carrying around. This is my list of everything that off the top of my head was in my head. And this doesn't include anything to do with work, because I work 3 days a week, none of that's on here. It doesn't include anything to do with housework, because that's never top of my list. This is on top of that. Extras. So now it's out, how am I going to deal with it? I decided to break it down into 3 categories. I've done dates to remember, short tasks, and longer tasks. So starting with dates, I have embraced technology and I have sat down with all of those dates that I plucked out of my head and put on paper, and I've put them all in my phone with a reminder set for the day before. I don't really like doing stuff like that. It's a potch and it's fiddly to put it in, but it's in there, so it's no longer the responsibility of my brain to remember these things. This guy is going to remind me. Next category was short tasks. These are things that I just thought, if I sit down and I really focus, I can just burn through this kind of stuff. And because it's more organized, I can be more efficient with it. So for example, today I did a bunch of them all in one go. My youngest needed a top for children in need because it's children in need this week and they've got a non-uniform day, so he needed a top. So I went to the shop, got one of those. While I was there, I picked up biscuits that I need to take to a play date we're going to on Saturday. I got some birthday cards that I needed for a party that is this weekend, and I got cash that I need to pay for my son's breakfast club that I need to pay on Wednesday, and the change from that will be the money I send in for non-uniform day on Thursday. Do you get the picture of what was going on in my brain? Now, I haven't worked my way through the whole list, but I feel so much clearer about what I've got to do, and it just feels more manageable. Last category was longer tasks. These are things that I just will take longer. I didn't need to explain that, did I? It's things like I've got a bunch of work I need to do in the garden. I need to plan out all the videos that I want to make over Christmas. I need to sort through and organize my kids' toys so I can have a bit of a purge pre-Christmas. These are big tasks that are not going to get done in a day, but seeing it written down, I can prioritize and I can deal with it one step at a time, one stage at a time. Those 2 categories, the short tasks and the longer tasks, are also in my good old trusty phone in the notes section. So as new things come up, I don't just hold them in my head, I'll put them in the notes section, and I can keep referencing those lists to make sure that nothing just falls down the cracks. So I know none of this is kind of revolutionary. It's a very simple idea and a very simple concept, but honestly, if you are feeling overwhelmed, give it a try because it has massively helped me. And if you have any tips of your own, please do comment below. If you enjoyed this video, press like, please subscribe to see more, and I'll see you very soon. Bye. I get a comment on my videos from time to time that says something along the lines of, "This woman has too much time on her hands." Really? What I would say in response to that is no, I don't. I don't have too much time on my hands. I don't have any time on my hands. I'm not going to reply to you because it would be a waste of my time that I don't have on my hands. And secondly, you're watching and commenting on a video you haven't enjoyed. Which of us has too much time on their hands? I'm a little bit tense.